Hey guys, it's Merrick, and I've got another gameplay commentary here today. In this one, we're doing BattleBit, and I'm actually playing Domination on Wakistan. This video is going to be featuring the HK, which I've actually been enjoying a surprising amount. I didn't really expect to like it, I didn't like it in some other games, so I was really surprised to see how much I wound up enjoying it in this game. The HK is basically a M4 analog, like a lot of other guns are, but it's got a much nicer sound in my opinion, and it's got a slightly lower fire rate, which both helps with not emptying the mag instantly, and I believe would obviously have some effects on recoil. Most people would probably enjoy the maximum vertical recoil reduction, being the tactical barrel and the vertical grip. I am running the tactical barrel, but I am running the B25 grip because it gives additional reload speed and does not fall very far behind that in other stats. Getting on to the shoe sting though, I don't actually know Wakistan all that well, so first thing I do is just follow everybody else and run straight towards the middle point, assuming that's where the enemy's going to be at. I don't see anybody there, but I can see them capping the point, so I can only assume they're towards the end of the bridge, and I just work to get an angle. My first shots across the bridge are able to pick up an enemy, because obviously that first set of shots was just to hear the HK sound so amazing. But before I can push up any farther, I immediately catch a random nade to the face. Thankfully, a champion teammate is there to pick me up. I heal myself up, and then I drop a med box for them, just as I realize that the guy that rezzed me was also a medic, but I see that the point B is starting to decap, and I think it's safe to just run across the bridge. I was incredibly wrong, but thankfully I had people on my side that were actually able to hit those shots and help me take that guy out. Having cheated death, I heal up and try to go push up just to see that while we are capping the point now, there's still a lot of them prone on the bridge, and I need to make sure that we don't actually walk past them. I think I cleared them all out, only to see somebody turn around and look at me. Thankfully though, I was already going for my pistol because I couldn't tell if I just didn't kill that guy or what had happened. I start to reload in a bad position, and I don't even notice the guy in the window, and as soon as I turn around, I immediately die. Thankfully though, my champion teammate yet again picks me up. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy, and he's basically carried me the whole beginning stage of this map as I'm trying to figure out and get my footing. I managed to get healed up, and I'm trying to push up and get into the fight. I don't know this map just yet, so when I see fighting from here and people trying to shoot on that corner, I decide to try to take a long right flank, only to figure out that this is a terrible idea, just because they have the high ground, and it just seems like I don't know exactly where their spawn is, but they always seem to be in this position when I want to be here. So coming around this wide, it never seemed to work out for me at any point during this game. This is, to this day, still my only game on Wakistan Domination, so I can't say for sure that that's the flow of the map, but that's what I ran into this match. Anytime I pushed out to the right, I got hit from the building or from farther right. My team was not allowed to be there. Seeing the enemy also has positions up on that dish and that high ground there, though, means that I'm getting real fond with this building, as it should allow me to deal with the people in the woods while also preventing those guys from pushing down unless they run straight down the hill through that open field on, well, below them and behind that car. I managed to get one pick from this range, and I'm trying to go for more, which honestly I feel like the HK is pretty good with. It just took a little bit to get used to. But I see shots coming from the right out by those woods, which I had already been worried about. Seems like the enemy had pushed completely through there and was trying to wrap around behind B point. Natural response is to push up to this corner. I think I overextend a little bit, and I should take my angle a little wider, but this is overall an alright idea, just could have been done better. I really don't know what the correct decision is to make in this situation because I'm still not 100% sure of the flow of the map. I want to try to go deal with these guys on the right because they're preventing us from pushing up, but like I said, anytime I tried to go right or push up aggressively, it really didn't work out. So it feels like pushing this is a bad idea, but it also feels like leaving these guys on the right is a bad idea, and the instant I make a decision to push up, it's like they fucking know and they double swing me and I die for free. Having come to the conclusion that this is a very, very nice corner, I decide to plant my ass here and try to fight these guys that are trying to, well, fight on this corner. I spend a few deaths just running back and fighting on this corner, and I wind up just having a lot of play with this corner and getting people on the flank as they try to wrap around to B point. If you were a little smarter than me, you could probably have put down some well-positioned sandbags to give you cover from that wide angle without having to forfeit the corner. Because I had dealt so much damage to those guys on the corner, I knew if anybody was going to push me, I would have nothing. Thankfully, as I rotate out, someone does push me, but a teammate is able to clean it up. I push across to the dish, and I'm moving a little slowly trying to get a feel for the map and try to memorize all the corners. I take this corner a little wide, but before I can recorrect people to deal with, but unfortunately someone swings on another angle that I was not even aware they could be on, and I have to go back to base. If you are more patient, you could take those angles much more shallowly, and you probably could actually find that there are multiple angles to worry about before they peek you, but then you also just have to worry about somebody potentially swinging the corner fast and catching you off guard. I managed to get a long-range pickup after I get turned around by spawning on a sniper, and I push back up to the satellite dish just as they come pushing down the hill, and we have a kind of odd fight where they kind of just don't seem to notice that I'm on top of this rock. And even when they do, unless they land a miracle nade over the top of it, I should be able to get picked up by the teammates behind me. Thankfully, this plays out almost exactly as I planned. I didn't expect for people to come over that hill, again, didn't know it was really possible, thought they had to jump off the top of it, but because I'm in a decent position, I'm almost immediately picked up by allies, being able to drop them a healing box, and come up with a better plan. After healing up, I push back up the hill, but I'm kind of hesitant to go right to where I was before, because I don't actually think that's a favorable angle with how many people I'm tweaking into. So I wind up just picking up a few teammates as I rotate around and try to see if we have control, and once it seems like we have a half-decent footing, I swing back around and go above the hill that I was just getting shot at from. The shooting is kind of spaced out, we're taking the point, now it seems like as good a time as any. I decide to go rotate around the point, trying to get a flank on people, but like I said, I actually wind up just going above the hill on the cliffside here, just above where I was getting shot at from. I wind up getting a very mean flank because anybody that wants to try to deal with me has to swing out wide, exposing themselves even further to any allies that might be also trying to take this same fight. Not to mention, the only thing they have in the way of cover here is the hillside and the fact that they are prone. The trees aren't providing much for cover, there's not a whole lot of them, and the fact that these guys have to be prone means they can't exactly get up and run away, or react to me super quickly. I'm able to clean up essentially the entire hillside, heal up, and then after looking for a little bit and seeing nobody, I try to rotate back over towards that other building, which it seems is now infested with enemies. Thankfully, they all run in and out of what essentially is a straight line, and I'm able to get a few of them just by kind of shooting in between them all. It seems a little too good to be true though, so I try to check my back, nobody seems to be behind me, and I continue my push across to the other building. But while resing this guy, I kind of bait myself. I see an ally on that rock, and I assume that means that nobody can peek around the corner, so I'm incredibly surprised when someone not only peeks around that corner, but doesn't shoot me, but instead puts down this poor man that I just rezzed. I heal up, drop a nade on the corner that was just peeked because I don't trust that teammate anymore, and this should help keep that guy's head down, and then we rescue Microsoft Excel. I don't feel comfortable dropping him a med box in the middle of nowhere, so I try to push up along the side of this building, and I see people getting shot, so I try to stop and assist, but as soon as I shoot, I telegraph my position, someone swings the corner, and it immediately deletes me. Upon spawn, we've actually completely gotten pushed off that building, and we're actually trying to even get across this bridge safely now. I did manage to get across without getting shot at, but as soon as I walked over to the bridge and tried to check the satellite dish, we were immediately under an immense amount of pressure, and really, I don't think I'm going to survive to finish this heal. So I dropped the med box so I can heal while reloading, that way I at least have bullets in my gun when this guy inevitably runs around the corner to murder me. He doesn't materialize, so I decide to fuck off. But a helpful teammate notices that I wasn't fully healed and tries to help me. As I turn around to thank him, I see that that guy did actually push, he just fucking did it way late, and I'm able to actually save 2 people, thankfully. I go take my old spot back, and it seems like everybody's now interested in this fucking bridge. As I run out of ammo, I get tagged up, meaning I'm now dead and out of ammo, so I'm not expecting to survive very much longer, and I'm just praying they give me enough time to get back combat ready. I tentatively re-peek that same angle, checking the closest angle I can remember, and working out from there. Seems like there's nobody up super close, but they are still applying pressure here, so I just use the long-range HK, which, like I said, I feel is actually pretty alright, and I try to make it work out. I get thrown off by a flank hitting, and trying to punish that, I peek too far out from cover, and I'm not even paying attention to the guy that winds up finishing me off. Still finding it really hard to push. We're actually losing point B now, and we've lost the complete other side of the bridge. I get to this watchtower, and I just try to take a cheeky angle over this set of barriers. I don't feel like I can peek across the bridge, because generally running across a bridge is suicide, and there's any snipers, I'll just die for free. So instead, I just try to do what I can, clean up the edges, and work from there. This watchtower isn't exactly sniper-proof, because it's right along the same angle, but at least I can peek up and down and be at different angles as opposed to just running straight, head level, across the bridge. I also haven't been punished by any snipers yet, so I'm going to keep using this while I can, and I just kind of hold my spot and try to pick people off as they're pushing along this angle here. It looks like I've actually cleared off the right side, and I'm getting ready to go push. I take another few long-range shots, which, like I said, I think I'm getting ahead of myself, but as soon as I go to heal, it turns out they're actually a lot closer than I thought they were. I managed to get a spawn across the bridge on some allies and immediately die. Then I wind up getting a spawn behind our front line at our basically generic spawn, and we have to re-push straight to the bridge again. I respond to hearing somebody shooting and wind up getting a free kill on someone that was actually hiding behind our lines, and then I take another quick look around trying to see if there's anybody else. Don't really find them, but I also don't really want to take this push, because like I said, anytime I look at this right side of the map so far, it's fucked me. So I tentatively take a look over there, hoping that maybe this time will be different. And it wasn't. But my team has pushed across B, and I am able to get an aggressive spawn on C. Maybe a little too aggressive, as I take 2 steps and immediately fall over, so I take a more reserved spawn at the bridge and push out from there. If there is anything I can say about Wakistan after this game, is that there is at least one spot I am comfortable fighting around, and it is whatever the hell you want to call this building. As I approach again, I see yet another long flank going to B. I try to pick up what I can, but thankfully for them, I am aiming with my fucking feet, so they don't really get punished. I run out of ammo, and I actually expect to kind of just free dive because I hear people moving around and taking shots. Turns out all those people are actually inside this building though, so I try to push up along the side to go deal with them. Maybe you've figured out what my problem is before I did, but it was the fact that I went to this cursed ass side of the map. So I immediately retreat, fall back expecting a lot of pressure that won't even let me bandage, and manage to get 2 people caught off guard again.
Out your head, dude.
I get my bandage, I reload, and I try to go back to this corner, just asking for a bad time. I manage to get around the corner unmolested, and as I push up it actually looks kind of clear. I swing a little wider, and I see some people that aren't paying attention to me and should be free kills. I get excited, whiff the kill, draw their attention, and decide just to abort the whole thing and stop fucking tempting fate. I swing around the other side to where I got the flank on these 2 initially, and then I try to get into the building to deal with them. I managed to get a few pickups, but were I not an absolute ape, I should have gotten all of them, and in my frustration, I walk out after taking a bad spawn and just take an aim duel in the middle of the open against someone on the headshot angle. Big brain plays. This game is actually coming down to a close where we end 48-11 because I do manage to get 1 more kill, and while I do die, a teammate picks me up, and I'm unable to get any more of them before the game ends. I was doing particularly alright with shooting in this session because I was able to get a lot of long-range pickoffs, but I believe just getting a gun with a lot of vertical and not a whole lot of horizontal will make that pretty feasible a task for anybody, so long as you do a little bit of practice. A lot of what I was highlighting in this game is how if I didn't play like an ape, I could have actually capitalized more on the situations that were given to me, but even such, I got a half-decent return, I think, and hopefully pointing out my mistakes and some of the alternatives has helped you guys, and you can actually learn something and take something away from this. Let me know what you guys think, let me know what you do and don't like, so I can improve these going forward. Thank you guys for the support, and I'll see you next time.